So we are back with Arkham Horror Mother's Embrace. We're going to continue yesterday's game, where we have already witnessed, or well, not witnessed, but stumbled upon a murder. And now we are going to see if we can continue this mystery.
Your search of my office makes it clear you must visit Miskatonic University. Not only did I work there, but the broken jar came from the university lab. Why did those strange men need it? Whatever the answer, you're sure to find it at Miskatonic.
So our next quest here is to find, or clues, to find meaning in the stars. So let's go do that. Miskatonic University, we're going to stick with, I guess, Harvey Walters and go with that. Yes, I want to use these investigators. And yes, I want to stick with Roland Banks as well. Yes, and I play Harvey Walters in the card game, which is, if you haven't tried, I know I said this yesterday, but if you haven't played the card game, you really should. It's so much fun. The whole thing is, it's pretty expensive getting into it, right? You know, now, because there's so many expansions that it's not even, you know, it will cost you a bit to get into it. Alright, Roland was the gun. Now, one thing about this game that I hope is that it's not too easy. I want to die, because if it's too easy, it just takes the challenge out of it. So if I don't die soon, I'm not going to be impressed, but we'll see. If it's like the game, if it's like the card game, I'll die a lot, and I really like that, because I like the challenge, you know. Cigarettes goes to Roland, because he smokes, as you can see by his character sheet. Did I get it in there? Come on. Move. There we go. As you can see, F. No, don't do that. Not here. No. Why is it doing that for? I want to launch the scenario. Here we go. Yes. Here we go. Alright, so again, hopefully I want to die someplace. And I want to create a challenge. If it's not challenging, what's the sense of playing a game if there's no challenge in it? So these people that, you know, record their games and they don't ever die and it's immaculate, you know, they've spliced together all, you know, they've cut out all of their deaths. Well, I'm not going to do that. I want to die, because that's part of the game. I want a challenge. So let's see if this game gives us that challenge. So far, I love it. I love the card game. I know I've said it already 100 times, but believe me, if you want to play a great card game,
welcome to Miskatonic University, home of the prestigious Orne Library, which includes the country's largest collection of occult books. I once studied here as a student, later donning the mantle of professor and passing along all I learned to the next generation of astronomy students. This place was like a second home to me. Perhaps the things I left behind will provide you with clues to the answers you seek.
Here's the Science and Astrophysics Department.
One thing I wanted to mention before we get into the actual game, about the card game also, due to the pandemic, there's like a lot of expansions to Arkham Horror, the living card game. The problem is that it was so popular during the lockdown pandemic that a lot of the expansions are currently sold out, so they're hard to find. So if you have a problem with, you know, maybe playing a few rounds, a few games over and over again, or, you know, while you're waiting for the next expansion to come out or to be reprinted, you might want to hold back for like another few months until they get the printing back. It's coming back slowly, but it's not there yet. So just that as a little bit of forewarning. So here we go. Let's get into this game. Let's see what we're after here.
Oh, it has changed over the years. No place feels more like home to me. Not even my little house.
The secretary said Professor Norman Withers could give us access to Professor Tillingast's office. But what do we expect to find?
We won't know until we look.
All right, let's brace this Withers.
Here's what I was trying to show you before. See, under Roland Banks, he's got cigarette addict, so that's where you want to put cigarettes. So look at this guy. This guy's got self-mutilation. Crazy! But, we'll see. I'm gonna give it to Walters because he's probably more likely to die because he's a melee character and gonna get slapped on a few times, I'm sure. Whereas Roland is range, so he's probably not gonna get hit as much, hopefully.
With offices right next to each other, Professors Tillinghast and Withers must have known each other well.
Professor Tillinghast's door is locked.
But of course, my friend, academics are no less prone to snooping around each other's secrets. Some have even been known to steal a colleague's research and present it as their own.
I feel like there should be a dun 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 after that sentence because it's a little bit of a clue.
We'd better ask Withers for the key. I say no, Agatha. You will pardon me for saying I have never believed your methods to be the least bit scientific. I refuse to believe that Wilhelmina would have...
Oh, they're talking about me. Norman and I were colleagues for years, so naturally we addressed each other by our Christian names. You, of course, may call me Professor Tillinghast.
Yes, what is it? How can I help you? Please pardon the intrusion, my dear fellow. We just want to ask a few questions about your colleague, Professor Tilling... Not again. Can't an old man mourn his friend in peace? Oh, these constant intrusions by reporters and police and garden variety busybodies. As I told your friends earlier, I do not wish to be disturbed.
Listen, pal.
Wait just a moment, Norman. Something tells me these people aren't the same as the others. Look at their eyes. They've seen things beyond the quotidian. Oh, forgive my manners. I'm Professor Agatha Crane, and you seem to know of my colleague, Professor Norman Withers. Something tells me you've seen Wilhelmina, haven't you? That is, Professor Tillinghast.
Agatha, for heaven's sake, stop this nonsense. No, Professor Withers, she's right. We have seen unusual things. We arrived too late to save Professor Tillinghast, but we've seen evidence that whatever happened to her was unnatural, to say the least. We intend to get to the bottom of it.
I told you, Norman, that box could hold more than knickknacks and gewgaws. I, for one, want to see it for myself. You there, come with me.
What? Where are you going, you confounded parapsychologist?
To the observatory. Wait here, Norman. I know you won't want to be disturbed further.
Oh, so now we've got Agatha Crane, new investigator, and she's a parapsychologist like the Ghostbusters. Who are you gonna call? We're gonna call Agatha Crane, that's who. So let's see. Professor Agatha Crane made a reputation in mathematics and psychology, two fields I would never have expected someone to combine. Surprising us even more, she turned those studies to the outer fields of parapsychology. Is that outer? Outre. Fields of I don't know, I'm not that, parapsychology and the occult. Some of the others might smile at her behind their hands, but I find her stories and speculations highly entertaining, even if they are no more than a bunch of balderdash. It's an old word, balderdash. I don't like how... See, this is not professional. This should have been down here. But I guess they ran out. I don't know. That's just... I don't like it. It sticks out, anyway. So Agatha increases the group members' initiative in combat, which is nice. Strong initiative, melee average, ranged average, magic average. Okay. Willpower and social. So here we go. Let's go to the story and read this all. You can read this on your own.
Ah, the old observatory. Don't be fooled by its antiquated fixtures, my friends. Of course, the new Gerald Warren Astronomical Observatory is a technological marvel, but I shall always remember this one more fondly. Through these telescopes, I first gazed with wonder at the stars and the vast voids between them.
Here is the mysterious box.
The label marks it as belonging to Professor Tillinghast. What are these strange things inside?
This symbol. It was in Professor Tillinghast's room.
You've seen this symbol in Wilhelmina's room, haven't you? It is similar to the iconography of ancient pagan rituals. Here is proof that Wilhelmina's research went beyond known science and into the realm of the paranormal.
Many of our colleagues questioned Agatha's unorthodox avenues of research, but none questioned her resolve. Once she sets her mind to a goal, nothing can stop her.
We must show this to Norman. Only then will he help us.
Alright, so we have a Book of Restraint. I'm going to give that to Agatha, because she will be a caster. And this is a Book of Restraint, an Eldritch phrase that binds the target's limbs, slowing movement. Okay, so we're going to do that.
Could it be? Yes, these glyphs indicate gestures of power, of magic. This, my friends, is a grimoire, a book of spells. What it is doing at the university, I cannot say, but we mustn't let this opportunity go to waste. We must see whether these spells work. Look here, Norman. See the odd things in this box of Wilhelmina's? Whatever she was researching, it was far more than that comet.
I don't see what this has to do with her death.
We saw a sign identical to the one on this box in the room where Professor Tillinghast was killed.
I must admit that seems far too unlikely to be mere coincidence. Very well. You have my attention and my help. Wilhelmina left Arkham earlier this year, and I received this box. After hearing no word from her, I became concerned, and I confess, I briefly searched her office for some indication of the purpose of her travel.
Oh, Norman, you dear fool. I was only gone a week. Why did you worry so?
Unfortunately, I couldn't make sense of her notes. They made no sense to me. I did sense a whiff of the occult about them, which I admit made me uneasy. Be a good fellow, Withers, and help us find out what happened to Wilhelmina. I know you want the truth as much as we do. You're right, of course. Here, take the key to Wilhelmina's office. While you have a look in there, I'll pore over these notes again.
What was that sound? It came from next door.
My office? Who's in there?
Alright, so I like to keep my videos around between 10 and 20 minutes, you know, for brevity. I don't want long videos that people have to, like, wait through and get bored. So we're going to stop it at 20 minutes. We're going to stop it on the clue so that it has a little bit of excitement and, like, a little build-up. I'll probably come back to it in a few hours and make another video to go through Wilhelmina's office, find out what made that noise, and continue on with this investigation. So I hope you'll join me then. It's great coming on these adventures with you, and I hope to see you in the next video when we find out what's in that office.